Greetings, race fans! We are back on RaceRoom, realistic racing experience simulation, RaceRoom of the third. It's got a really long name, but I just like calling it RaceRoom. So today I'm going to give you an opinion. That opinion being, which car is the best car out of the entire free content pack? Now, I went with one car per division. You have your P1, P2, Silhouette Series, the Race Room Juniors, and I think GT1, stuff like that. So I chose one car from each because it's slim pickings anyways. So today's cars is the Formula Race Room Junior, the 134 Judd V8, the Aquila CR1 Sports GT, Celine S7R, the Canard R51, and the DMD P20 and the DMD P21. Each car from each class. And I'm going to give you my opinion. Let's start with the Aquila CR1. Each car is going to get a grade. I'm going to give you an opinion on each car. We went with the RaceRoom Raceway Grand Prix for maximum testing to feel for the physics, the braking, the steering, just the way the car handles. And this is more catered towards noobs, people that are just starting off in the game, obviously, because it's the free content when you download it. RaceRoom is free, so you get a handful of cars and a handful of tracks. I went with the RaceRoom Raceway Grand Prix. Pretty good course. I actually like it a lot. It's got a lot of chicanes, a couple of decent straightaways, long churning left-handers and right-handers. It's a really good track. It really is. And I figured this was a good track that was technical enough to give it a really good test for these cars. And I also want to mention that these cars had all of the assists turned off. So not only was this the first time for myself racing without the assists on RaceRoom, I kind of wanted to get an actual feel for these cars on my Thrustmaster TMX Pro and give my recommendations based on how the car felt and how skittish it can be. So yes, we're going back to the Aquila CR1. This car is a fun car to drive. I felt really slow in it though. When I have the assists on and stability, traction control and stability especially, I feel more confident in it, and it grips and rips really good with the assists on. But with no assists on, the car feels really planted. It has great brakes and can accelerate out of turns with little problems. It is a little twitchy at times, but I still think it's a good car. So the Aquila CR1 Sports GT, I give it a 70 out of 100. Now next up is the Formula RaceRoom Junior, and don't even think about using this vehicle. Don't even think about it. Now you veteran racers, you can probably use this car and you'll be okay in it. But somebody who's just starting out in this game, they may think, oh cool, an open-wheeled car, let's give it a go. No, don't give it a go. Don't even think about it. No matter how careful I am under braking, especially braking, the brakes are awful on this thing, or even on the throttle, I always end up spinning the car into the wall. Especially going over a hill that's on a turn, the car is just so lightweight, it loses grip easily, and it's very unstable, not fun at all to drive, but I'm going to give it a 10 out of 100, so it's pretty bad. Don't do that. Alright, next up is the GTR 1 class. It's a Celine S7R. This car is very fun to drive, but you have to be careful on the throttle because there is so much power going to the wheels. And it's a very stable car otherwise. I felt a little too comfortable in this vehicle at times and would spin the car coming out of a turn because I was a little too hard on the acceleration. That, of course, is my bad. There's no way around it. I think that with some finesse and some practice, this car is one of the better cars out of the free pack, so I give it a 70 out of 100. Alright, continuing on with my notes, we have the Hill Climb Icons and the 134 Judd V8, and all I have to say is no, don't use this car. Just, if you could uninstall the car from the game, I would recommend that. It is a 0 out of 100. Just don't. Way too much power going to the rear wheels. You'll lose. It's really hard to have proper throttle control on this thing. So just don't. Don't even bother. Alright, we're going to move up to the P1 class, the DMD P20. Very fun car to drive, very fast, great on the brakes. good downforce, so the car does a very good job around the turns and the hills. However, the car is super lightweight, so if you get hit by anybody else on the field, you will spin out. Sometimes the car will spin if you are too eager on the throttle coming out of a turn. So, very fun car to drive. I give it more of an intermediate level of skill needing to control it, but I give it a 70 out of 100 as well. Now we're going to upgrade to, actually this would be considered a downgrade, I guess, in class, the P2 class. Because P1 is supposed to be top-notch, right, in the prototypes. P2, I found that the DMD P21 was actually way more fun to drive. This car is everything that I said about the DMD P20 in the P1 class, but it's even better. Rarely spins out, super fast, and just a blast to drive. The field of view is a lot easier in this thing too, because it's an open vessel. The cockpit, you have so much space to see everything, and the car just handles like a beast. It handles like a dream, and it feels really fast. Why wouldn't you want to drive this? So I give this car a 90 out of 100. If you want to jump into a high-powered car that's also a prototype, I highly recommend the DMD P21. Now, the Silhouette series, I'm pretty sure I've already stated this in a previous video, is some of my favorite cars in this pack, but I wanted to compare to the rest of the field, and I wanted to turn off assist to see if the Canard R51 could still hold up, and if it was still my favorite. And holy shit, this car is an absolute must if you play RaceRoom. It's perfect for beginners. This car drives like a dream. It's perfectly balanced in all aspects, and I'm talking about the throttle control is easy to manage. It doesn't spin out. It feels fast. There's no, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's the perfect car, and it's definitely my favorite car to drive in this free pack. You simply must, and I mean the word must. That's bold and underlined, maybe even with a little italic. You must drive this race car. So if you first begin RaceRoom, you have your choice between Sepang, Portimao, Lakeview Hill Climb, RaceRoom Raceway, and Stowe Circuit. And Stowe Circuit is within Silverstone. It's a very fun course. I highly recommend the Canard R51 out of the Silhouette series. Now, I didn't try the Canard R52 or the Cougar C14-1 or C14-2 because I'll let you make your own decision on that. I didn't want to try several cars from the Silhouette series class. One car per class is all we needed to do here. So I highly suggest doing the Silhouette series and picking something out of P2. So yeah, the Canard R51 and the DMD P21 are the top two cars. Tied for third place would be the DMD P20 and P1 class, the Aquila CR1 Sports GT, and the GTR1 Celine 7R. Those are all my third. They'll tie for third place, but definitely drive the Canard R51. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.